Anticoagulants. Good evening, my students. Present, I am discussing about anticoagulant. Anticoagulant means prevent the clotting of blood is called anticoagulant. In last class, one anticoagulant is over. Okay, what is the name of that anticoagulant? Heparin. Okay, so come to the anticoagulant. What is the anticoagulant? To prevent the clotting of blood. Prevent the clotting of blood. It's called anticoagulant. First one, come to the heparin. This heparin is secreted from basophils, mast cells, and liver. Basophils, mast cells, and liver. Okay, so large quantity of heparin is secreted from liver. Secreted from liver. Okay, compare with that of basophils and mast cells. Okay, right. Next, this heparin prevent the clotting of blood. Nothing but act as an anticoagulant. Anticoagulant. Heparin activates the antithramine. Activate. Heparin activates the antithramine. Okay. Antithramine. This antithramine prevent the formation of prothrombin activity. This antithramine prevent the formation of prothrombin activity. Prothrombin activity. Okay, so prevent the formation of prothrombin activity. Okay, so prothrombin activity. This heparin activates the antithramine. This antithramine prevent the formation of prothrombin activator. Okay. So what is the main function of a prothrombin activator? Prothrombin activator converts the prothrombin into thrombin. Okay. So prothrombin activator converts the prothrombin into thrombin. Prothrombin into thrombin. Prothrombin activator converts the prothrombin into thrombin. It is the first step in the blood coagulation. It is the first step in the blood coagulation. Okay. So that first step in the blood coagulation is prevented by antithramine. Okay. That first step in the blood coagulation is prevented by antithramine. Okay. So this antithramine prevent the formation of prothrombin activator. Okay, so prevent the formation of prothrombin activator, due to which due to the prevention of prothrombin, due to the prevention of prothrombin prothrombin activator, due to the prevention of prothrombin activator, prothrombin is not converted into thrombin. Prothrombin is not converted into thrombin. So blood coagulation is not occur. Blood coagulation is not occur. Okay, right. This is prevent the clotting of blood. Okay, blood coagulation is not occur. Nothing but prevent the clotting of blood. Okay, so it acts as anticoagulant. Heparin is acts as anticoagulant. So this is over the heparin. Okay, so next one, warfarin. Number 2, warfarin. Number 2, warfarin. Okay, it is antagonistic to vitamin K. Antagonistic. Antagonistic to vitamin K. One antagonistic to vitamin K. Okay. What is the main function of vitamin K? vitamin K useful for blood coagulation. Vitamin K useful for blood coagulation. Antagonistic, okay, anti-reaction. Okay, so warfarin prevent the blood coagulation. Warfarin prevent the blood coagulation. So warfarin is antagonistic to vitamin K. Warfarin prevent the blood coagulation. So warfarin is antagonistic to vitamin K. Okay, so what is the scientific name of vitamin K? Okay, what is the scientific name of vitamin K? Hemorrhagic vitamin. Hemorrhagic vitamin. Okay, so hemorrhagic vitamin. Okay, right. So this is hemorrhagic vitamin. Okay. Antagonistic to vitamin A, warfarin. Next, warfarin prevented the synthesis of blood clotting factors. Warfarin prevent the synthesis of blood coagulation, blood coagulation factors, such as 2, 5, 7, 2, 5, 7, 10. Okay, so like 2, 7, 2, 7, 9, 10. 2, 7, 9. Warfarin prevent the synthesis of blood coagulation factors like 2, 7, 9, 10. 2, 7, 9. This is most important factor. Okay, in out of 13 factors, okay, if absence of any one factor, blood coagulation is not occur. Okay, so in last class told blood coagulation mechanism of blood coagulation. In the blood coagulation mechanism, 13 factors are involved. 13 factors are involved. Okay, so more than 11 factors, more than 11 blood coagulation factors are synthesized from liver. Synthesized from liver. Most important bit. Okay. In out of 13 blood coagulation factors, if any one blood coagulation factor is absent, any one blood coagulation factor is absent, blood coagulation is not occur. Blood coagulation is not occur. This point, let remember, don't forget. Okay. Right. Okay. Next one. So this warfarin prevent the synthesis of blood coagulation factors such as 2, 7, 9, 10. So and then blood coagulation is not occur. Okay, so blood coagulation is not occur or prevent the clotting of blood. Okay, so it's called anticoagulant. So warfarin is acts as a anticoagulant. Warfarin is acts as a anticoagulant. Okay, right. Okay. Next one, third one. Okay, so third one. So these 2, 7, 9, 10 blood coagulation factors are synthesized by liver. Okay, so not only 2, 7, 9, 10, more than 11 in out of 13 blood coagulation factors. Okay, so more than 11 blood coagulation factors are synthesized by liver. Okay, next chemicalized anticoagulant. Chemicalized, okay, chemicalized anticoagulant. Chemicalized anticoagulant. Sodium citrate, sodium oxalate. Potassium citrate, potassium oxalate. EDTA. Okay. So sodium citrate, sodium citrate, sodium oxalate. Potassium, potassium citrate, potassium oxalate. Okay. Sodium citrate, sodium oxalate. Potassium citrate, potassium oxalate. Potassium oxalate. Okay. So these are chemicalized anticoagulants. Okay. So right. These chemicalized anticoagulants are most okay. So cheap. చాలా చౌకగా దొరుకుతాయి. 1 కిలో అంతా కలిపి కూడా 200 రూపీస్ కాదు. ఓకే. సో దీస్ కెమికలైజ్ EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraestic acid is called EDTA. Ethylene diamine tetraestic acid. Okay. ethylene diamine tetraestic acid. So these are chemicalized anticoagulant. Okay. So these are not expensible. Okay. So more cheap. Okay. Right. So these are widely used in pathological labs. Pathological labs. Okay. So next one. So these anticoagulants bind to calcium to make unavailability of calcium. These anticoagulants bind to calcium. Okay, bind to calcium. Bind to these anticoagulants bind to calcium ions to make unavailability of calcium ions. To make unavailability of calcium ions, due to which blood coagulation is not occur or prevent the clotting of blood. Okay, so right, this is most important. In out of 13 blood coagulation factors, if any one blood coagulation factor is absent, blood coagulation is not occur. Okay, blood coagulation is not occur or prevent the clotting of blood. Okay, so these chemicalized anticoagulants they are bind to calcium ions and to make unavailability of calcium ions. To make unavailability of calcium ions, due to which blood coagulation is not occur or prevent the blood coagulation. Okay, right. So, so according to in your syllabus, so these are anticoagulants. So, heparin, warfarin, chemicalized anticoagulants, and nothing but 5 times. Next, extra information about anticoagulants. Okay, so hemolysin, okay, lompredin, okay, so hydrodin, hemolysin, lompredin, hydrodin. Okay, so these are extra information about anticoagulants. Okay, hemolysis, hydrodin, lompredin. Hemolysin is extracted from salivary glands of mosquito. Salivary, salivary gland of mosquito. Most important thing, salivary gland. Salivary glands of mosquito. This one is extracted from salivary glands of mosquito. Okay. Hydrogen is extracted from salivary glands of leech. Salivary gland of salivary gland of leech. Okay. Next, lompredin. It is extracted from salivary glands of lamprey. Salivary glands of lamprey. Okay. So, what is the scientific name of lamprey? Petromyzon. Lamprey or petromyzon. Petromyzon. Okay. Lamprey or petromyzon. So this lamprey or petromyzon exhibit anadromous migration. Anadromous migration. Anadromous migration. What is the anadromous migration? What is anadromous migration? The movement of organisms from seawater to river water for laying eggs or reproduction is called anadromous migration. Okay, so this is over the extra information about lamprey or petromyzon. Lamprey or petromyzon exhibit anadromous migration. What is anadromous migration? The movement of organisms from sea to river for laying eggs or reproduction or fertilization. Okay, it's called anadromous migration. Best example anadromous migration, lamprey or petromyzon. Lamprey or petromyzon. So these are extra information about anticoagulant. Hemolysin, iodine, and lamprey. And lamprey. Okay. So, hemolysin is extracted from salivary glands of mosquito. Iodine is extracted from salivary glands of leech. Next, lamprey is extracted from salivary glands of lamprey or petromyzon. This lamprey or petromyzon exhibit anadromous migration. What is anadromous migration? The movement of organisms from sea to river water. Sea to river water for laying eggs, okay, or reproduction is called anadromous migration. Okay, this is over the extra information about anticoagulant. Okay, next come to the, this is over the completely over with detailed account about body fluid and circulation 2A. Okay, so next come to the elimination of nitrogenous waste product, nothing but excretory system. Elimination of nitrogenous waste 2B. Come to 2B. Okay, come to 2B. Elimination of nitrogenous waste, nothing but excretory system 2B. Elimination of nitrogenous, nitrogenous waste. How like formed the nitrogenous waste product in the human? How like formed the nitrogenous waste product in the human? In human body, different type of biochemical reactions which are occur. Due to the effect of biochemical reactions, some of the nitrogenous waste products also released. Okay, so these are nitrogenous waste product highly toxicable. So must and should removed from body. Must and should removed from body. Okay, the elimination of nitrogenous waste product from body is called excretion. The elimination of nitrogenous waste products from body is called excretion. Okay, called excretion. Called, okay. In the human body, for the excretion, chief organ is kidneys. Chief organ is kidneys. Okay. Some of the organs played important role, minor role. Okay. So kidney played important role in the kidney, in the human body. Kidney play an important role in the excretion. Remaining some of the organs also play minute role, like skin, skin glands, sebaceous glands, liver. Okay. So skin, skin gland, wet gland, okay, wet gland, sebaceous gland, liver. Okay. So these four, these four glands and skin, blood glands, sebaceous glands, and liver play minor role in excretion. Kidney play major role in excretion. These are play minor role in excretion. Okay, so minor role in excretion. Come to the, so needle swinger. Okay. So based on different type of biochemical reaction, okay, nitrogenous waste products are formed. So these nitrogenous waste products are highly toxicable. So must and should removed from body. Okay. So the removal of nitrogenous waste products. nitrogenous waste product from body is called excretion. Okay. So based on the nitrogenous waste products, nothing but excretory product. Nothing but excretory product. Okay. Excretory nitrogenous waste products is nothing but excretory product. Okay. So based on excretory products, organisms are divided into three types. This is most important formas question, Nana. Okay. So this question is the number of times given. Okay. First one, monotelism, ureotelism, uricotelism. Okay. Monotelism based on the excretory product, organisms are divided into three types. First one, ammonotelism. First one, ammonotelism. Come to the ammonotelism. So based on the nitrogenous waste product or respiratory product, the organisms are divided into three types. Ammonotelism, ureotelism, ureotelism, and ureotelism, and uricotelism, and uricotelism. Okay, so right, and uricotelism. This one I ammonotelism, ureotelism, and uricotelism. Uricotelism. Okay. First one, ammonotelism. Ammonotelism. Excrete the nitrogenous waste product in the form of ammonia. Excrete the nitrogenous waste product in the form of ammonia. Ammonia. It's called NH3. NH3. Excrete the nitrogenous waste product in the form of ammonia. It's called ammonia. Excrete the nitrogenous waste product in the form of ammonia is called ammonotelism. Is called ammonotelism. Okay. Ammonia is formed by oxidative deamination of amino acid. Okay. Ammonia is formed by most important bit oxidative deamination of amino acid. Oxidative deamination of amino oxidative deamination of amino acid. What is the deamination? Removal of amino group from amino acid. Removal of amino group NH2. Amino group is nothing but NH2. Removal of amino group from amino acid is called deamination. Next, deamination process chiefly occur in the liver of vertebrates. In the liver of deamination process occur in the liver of vertebrate organs. What is deamination? Removal of amino group from amino acids is called deamination. This deamination chiefly occur in the liver of vertebrates. Okay, right. Next one, most important point. Okay, so amino group is separated from amino acid. Amino group is separated from amino acid. Amino acid. This separated amino group is react with hydrogen. React with hydrogen to form NH3. NH3 is nothing but ammonia. NH3 is nothing but ammonia. Okay. So this is amino group. from amino acid react with hydrogen to form ammonia. Okay, so to form ammonia. So ammonia is formed from separated amino group. Separated amino group. Okay, right. Next one. So, ammonia is a highly toxicable substance. Okay, so and highly toxicable, highly toxicable and highly soluble in water. Highly toxicable and soluble in water. So highly toxicable and highly soluble in water. So must and should removed from body quickly. So must and should removed from body quickly. Okay. So right. Okay. Example to ammonotelism. All aquatic organs. Example to ammonotelism. Aquatic. All aquatic organs. Okay. So all aquatic organs. Ammonia is highly toxical. So for the removal of ammonia, large quantity of water is required. Large quantity of water is required for removal of ammonia because of high toxicable substance. Because of high toxicable substance. Okay, right. Next one. Example to ammonotelism. Example to ammonotelism, all aquatic organs. Okay, right. Next point. In lower invertebrates, okay, in lower invertebrates, nothing but poriferan, protozoan organisms, poriferan organisms, cnidarian organisms, and platynemati elements organisms. Okay, so platynemati elements are in lower aquatic, in lower invertebrate organisms, lower lower invertebrate, nothing but protozoa, porifera, Nidaria, Nidaria or Coelenterata, Nidaria or Coelenterata, Platy. These are lower invertebrate organisms. In lower invertebrate organisms, in lower invertebrate organisms, ammonia is expelled outside through body surface by simple diffusion. In lower invertebrate organisms, nothing but protozoan, poriferan, cnidaria, and platyhelminthes. Ammonia expelled outside through body wall or body surface by simple diffusion. Okay, by simple diffusion. Okay, so by simple diffusion. Okay, right. Next, in bony fishes. Okay, in bony fishes, large quantity of ammonia expelled outside through epithelium of their gills. Epithelium of their gills. Epithelium of their gills. In bony fishes. In bony, bony fishes is also called Astichthys fishes. Astichthys fishes. Okay. In bony fishes, large quantity of ammonia. Large quantity of ammonia expelled outside through epithelium. Epithelium of gill. Large quantity of ammonia expelled outside through epithelium of gills in the form of ammonium ion. In the form of ammonium ion, which is most important. So, bony fishes is considered ammonotelic organism. Ammonotelism or ammonotelic organism. Anyone. Bony fishes is considered ammonotelic organism. monotelic organ. Okay, like look. Next one. This is over the monotelic organ. Okay. So, so this is a monotelism. A monotelism. Okay. Next one. Kidney. Kidney eliminates a minute quantity of ammonia from their body. Kidney also eliminates a minute quantity of ammonia. Okay, so in their body, nothing but a tissue body. Okay, so large quantity of ammonia expel outside through epithelium of gills in the form of ammonium ions. Okay, so minute quantity of ammonia expel outside through kidney in bony kidney. Okay. So in bony fishes, excretory organs, gills and kidney. Gills and kidney. Most important bit, Nana. Okay. In bony fishes, excretory organ, major excretory organ, gill, minor excretory organ, kidney, for removal of ammonia. This is most important bit. Okay. So for removal of ammonia, major excretory organ gills, minor excretory organ kidney in bony fishes. Okay. Right. The study of fishes is called ichthyology. The study of fishes is called ichthyology. Okay. Right. The golden age of fishes Devonian period. Okay. Ichthyology. The study of fishes is called ichthyology. Okay. Ichthyology. The golden age of fishes, Devonian period. Devonian period. Okay. ఈ విధంగా లింక్ చేసి ఇస్తాడు లింక్ బిట్. ఓకే, సో it is over the monotelism. Next one, come to the ureotelism or ureotelic organism. Ureotelic organism. Okay. Okay, come to the second one, ureotelism. Ureotelism or ureotelic. Ureotelic organ. Okay. Excrete the nitrogenous waste product in the form of urea. It's called ureotelic. Urea. Excrete the nitrogenous waste product in the form of urea. It's called ureotelic organisms or ureotelism or ureotelism. Okay. Right. Next, second point. The synthesis of urea. The synthesis of urea occur in liver. Occur in liver by the process of ornithine cycle. By ornithine cycle. Ornithine is most important. The synthesis of urea occur in liver by ornithine cycle. By ornithine cycle. Okay. So the synthesis of urea is occur in liver, or ornithine cycle is occur in liver. Okay. So ornithine cycle occur in dash liver. The synthesis of urea occur in dash liver. Okay. So direct liver ఉండదు, indirect గా ఉంటుంది. Liver is considered largest digestive gland. అలాగే చూడు లాస్ట్ క్లాస్ లార్జెస్ట్ డైజెస్టివ్ గ్లాండ్ అని ఉంటుంది. అక్కడ ఆప్షన్ లార్జెస్ట్ డైజెస్టివ్ గ్లాండ్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ లివర్ అని మీకు స్ట్రైక్ కావాలి. ఓకే రైట్, దిస్ పాయింట్ రిమెంబర్ 1%. రైట్, నెక్స్ట్ దిస్ synthesis of urea is occur in liver by ornithine. Okay, right. Next one, urea is 1 lakh time less toxicable substance than ammonia. 1 lakh time less toxicable substance than ammonia. Okay, so less toxic than ammonia. Okay, so 1 lakh time. Okay, 1 lakh time less toxicable substance than ammonia. Okay, urea. Next one, for the removal of urea, okay, less water is required. For the removal of urea, less water is required. Less water is required for removal of urea from the body of organism. From the body of organism. Okay, right. Next one. Example to ureotelic or ureotelism. Okay. Example to ureotelic organisms. Ureotelic organisms. Okay. Earthworm. Earthworm. Okay. Cartilaginous fishes. Cartilaginous earthworm. Cartilaginous fishes. Amphibians. Mammals. Okay. So these are example to ureotelic organisms or ureotelism. Okay. So earthworm, cartilaginous fishes, amphibians, and mammals. Okay. Larval amphibians excrete ammonia. This is most important. Larval amphibians. Okay. Larval amphibian. Okay. Amphibian excrete ammonia. So larval amphibians is considered ammonotelic organism. This is most important. So ఇక్కడ ఏం రాసుకోవాలా? Adult amphibians. Adult amphibians are ureotelic organisms, but larval amphibians are ammonotelic organisms. Ammonotelic organisms. Ammonotelic organisms. This is most important. Adult amphibians are ureotelic. Okay. So larval amphibians are ammonotelic because of they are excrete ammonia. Because of they are excrete urea. Okay. So this is the difference between adult amphibians and larval amphibians. Okay. Right. Next one. Cartilaginous. Okay. So cartilaginous fishes. Cartilaginous fishes. All cartilaginous fishes stores urea in their blood. All cartilaginous fishes stores urea in their blood for maintaining isotonic medium. For maintaining isotonic medium. This is called physiological urea. All cartilaginous fishes stores urea in their blood for maintaining isotonic medium. Okay, it's is called physiological 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 uremia. Physiological. This is most important bit. What is physiological uremia? Two marks between the all cartilaginous fishes stores urea in their blood for maintaining isotonic medium. It's called physiological uremia. What is isotonic medium? Isotonic. Isotonic. So this one is fish body. This one is fish. So this one is water. So this one is water. Okay. The concentration of body fluid equal to concentration of surrounding water. Concentration of surrounding water is called isotonic. Isotonic. The concentration of body fluid equal to the concentration of surrounding water is called isotonic medium. Isotonic medium. This is most important bit. The concentration of body fluid is equal to the concentration of surrounding water. It's called isotonic medium. Okay. For maintaining the isotonic medium, all cartilaginous fishes stores urea in their blood. That is important. Okay. For maintaining the isotonic medium, all cartilaginous fishes stores urea in their blood. So this phenomenon is called physiological uremia. Okay. So physiological uremia. Okay. So, so repeat once again. The concentration of body fluid is equal to concentration of surrounding water is called isotonic medium. For maintaining the isotonic medium, all cartilaginous fishes stores urea in their blood. Okay, it's called physiological uremia. So cartilaginous fishes which gives foul smell, చెడు వాసన వస్తాయి. So these are not edible. These are not edible because of which gives foul smell, bad smell. Okay, due to the accumulation of urea in their blood. Okay, in their blood. Right. This is over. This is the physiological uremia. Okay. Next one, for the removal of urea, less water is required. Okay, so urea is 1 lakh time less toxicable substance than ammonia. Okay, so urea is 1 lakh time less toxicable substance than ammonia. Than ammonia. So this is over the ammonotelism or ammonotelic organisms. Ammonotelism or ammonotelic organisms. Okay, so next one. Example 7. Earthworm, cartilaginous fishes, adult amphibians and mammals. Adult amphibians and mammals. Okay. But larval amphibians are ammonotelic organisms because of excretion of ammonia. Because of excretion of ammonia. Okay. So what is the name of larval amphibian? What is the name of larval amphibian? Tadpole larva. Okay. So tadpole larva. Tadpole larva. Tadpole larva is a monotelic. Tadpole larva is considered a monotelic organism, not ureotelic organism. Not ureotelic organism. Okay. So larval amphibians are tadpole larva. Okay. Tadpole larva or larval amphibians are monotelic organisms. Okay. Not ureotelic organisms. Okay. Right. Next, extra information about ornithine cycle అని చెప్తాం. The synthesis of urea occur in liver by ornithine cycle. By ornithine cycle. Come to ornithine cycle. So in your IP syllabus as well as NCERT syllabus, okay. So not given the ornithine cycle. So but I will tell ornithine cycle. I will tell ornithine cycle. Okay. Right. Come to the ornithine cycle. Come to the ornithine. Okay. Ammonia. First one, ammonia. Ammonia combined with water. Ammonia combined with carbon dioxide. Okay. So to form carboxyl phosphate. To form carboxyl phosphate. Carboxyl phosphate. Okay. To form carboxyl phosphate. Right. This carboxyl phosphate, carboxyl converted into succinate. Converted into succinate. This carboxyl phosphate is converted into succinate. Succinate is converted into arginiosuccinate. Okay. So arginiosuccinate. Okay. Arginiosuccinate. Okay. So arginiosuccinate. Arginiosuccinate. Split into fumarate and arginate. Fumarate and arginate. Fumarate and arginate. Okay. So fumarate and arginine is converted into L-ornithine. L L-ornithine. Okay. So L-ornithine. Okay. Urea. This is ornithine. In ornithine cycle. Okay. So, అమ్మోనియా మామూలుగా అయితే కనుక మీకు ఆర్నిథిన్ సైకిల్ లేదమ్మా మీ ఐపీ సిలబస్ లో కానీ ఎన్సిఆర్టీ సిలబస్ లో కానీ నాట్ గివెన్ ద ఆర్నిథిన్ సైకిల్. ఓకే. సో ఐ విల్ గివ్ మోర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అబౌట్ ఆర్నిథిన్ సైకిల్. ఇస్తాను ఎక్స్ట్రా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మీకు యూజ్ అవుతుంది ఇది. ఆర్నిథిన్ సైకిల్. త్రూ ద ఆర్నిథిన్ సైకిల్ యూరియా synthesis is occurred. Through the ornithine cycle, synthesis of urea is occurred. Okay, synthesis of urea is occurred. So, this urea synthesis occurred by ammonia. The synthesis of urea occurred by ammonia. So, how like formed urea? From ammonia. Ammonia combined with carbon dioxide to form carboxyl phosphate. To form carboxyl phosphate. Just want to form carboxyl phosphate. Okay, right. This carboxyl phosphate is converted into succinate. Succinate is converted into arginino, arginio, arginio. Arginio succinate is splits into fumarate and arginine. Fumarate and okay, fumarate and okay. Arginine again splits into L-ornithine and urea. L-ornithine and urea. Okay. So L-ornithine and okay. So so, మరి ఆర్నిథిన్ సైకిల్ ఎందుకు వచ్చింది ఏమంటే చెప్తా. ఫస్ట్ ఫార్మ్డ్ బై ప్రొడక్ట్ ఆర్నిథిన్. ఫస్ట్ అమ్మోనియా combined with carbon dioxide to form carboxyl phosphate. From carboxyl phosphate, okay, L-arginine is L-arginine is from carboxyl phosphate. From carboxyl phosphate, L-arginine is okay. So L-arginine is okay. L-arginine. This is L. This is L. L-ornithine from carboxyl phosphate. L-ornithine is formed. Okay. From L-ornithine, succinate is formed. From succinate, arginiosuccinate is formed. From succinate, arginiosuccinate is formed. Okay. Arginiosuccinate is. So this arginiosuccinate splits into two forms. First one fumarate, second one arginine. Second one arginine. Okay. So second one arginine. So this second one arginine. Second one arginine. Arginine again splits into urea and L-arnithine. Urea and L-arnithine. Okay. So urea and L. Okay. So this is over the ornithine cycle. In the ornithine cycle, first byproduct is L-ornithine. So this cycle is called ornithine cycle. This cycle is called ornithine cycle. So this is about ornithine cycle. Okay. So this is extra information about ornithine cycle. Okay. Right. So మరోసారి చెప్తాను జాగ్రత్తగా. Ammonia is combined with carbon dioxide to form carboxyl phosphate. From carboxyl phosphate, L-ornithine is formed. Okay. So from L-ornithine, succinate is formed. From succinate, arginiosuccinate is formed. Okay. This arginiosuccinate again splits into two forms. Okay. First form fumarate, second form arginine. Okay. So this arginine again splits into two forms. Again splits into two forms. Okay, urea and L-arnithine. Okay, so this is over the ornithine cycle. Okay, so through the ornithine cycle, urea synthesis is occurred. Urea synthesis through the ornithine cycle, urea synthesis is occurred. Okay, so the synthesis of urea occur in liver by ornithine cycle. So the synthesis of urea occur in liver by ornithine cycle. Okay, so this is over the extra information about ornithine cycle. Extra information about ornithine cycle. Okay, right. Next one, come to the uricotelism. Uricotelism. Third one, uricotelism. Or uricotelic organism. Or uricotelic organism. Nitrogenous waste product in the form of uric acid. In the form of uric acid. It's called uricotelic organisms or uricotelism. Uricotelism. Okay. Right. Example to uricotelic organism. Okay. Insect. Insect. Trachyate arthropod. Trachyate arthropod. Arthropod. Land snail. Land snail. Okay. Reptile. Reptile. And yeah, nothing but birds. These are uricotelic organisms. Insects, trachyate arthropods, land snails, reptiles, and eels. Reptiles and eels. Okay, so these are considered uricotelic organisms. Okay, so I will see next class, ma. Okay, I am leaving.